speaking of child support, that's an asset that, I mean, I don't have to tell the volunteers at TFRM this, that support is set too high. And there is a video that, and a guest of the TFRM annual conference back in 2019, William Commodore, who explained that I, it's not like you guys don't know this, that child support is set as an asset. It's almost double of what you actually need to raise a child. And that's because there wasn't the shared parenting, or fathers hadn't been involved. Women were the only caretaker. So this is another area of law that I'd like to see changed with the commission when it gets into place.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that dates back to that was designed. It was designed for absent fathers. It was designed. Right. It wasn't designed for active and present parents.
That's right.
And I see it all the time. You see a father who, let's just say it's a common scenario where early in the custody dispute they get a very low custody percentage. In California, it's your gross income and the percentage of custody you have. And all of a sudden they get hit with $1,300, $1,400, $1,600 a month when their take home is $3,000. It hamstrings really everything they can do legally, and then it also prevents them from being able to provide the things they want to for their child.
Sure, and this might be a good transition when we're talking about this burden that fathers have in paying child support. I want to make it clear that I am technically not a family lawyer. I'm a litigant. I'm a personal injury, workers' compensation, and general practitioner. But what I am is a veteran of 10 years, 15 years of in and out of family court, almost the entire life of my 18-year-old son. Actually, he just turned 19. So when I had a lawyer who I thought was a friend, or I thought there would be professional courtesy, and I was hit with a bill when the lawyer didn't even do anything for me. And I realized all my clients, I would just give free advice because my clients couldn't afford me. And if a lawyer was hitting me with a bill that seemed to me, much higher than, of course, what I needed, I knew that there was a problem. And then when I met people at TFRM, when I was a volunteer, I realized the problem was, in fact, worse than I thought it was. So what I did when I was a litigant is I taught myself how to represent myself. I had never done family law, but I represented myself. I self-represented. Now, I had 3 years and decades or so as a law practitioner, and I knew a lot of the judges, or at least I had a reputation in the community. So I was coming from a position of strength. And I knew, or I've learned just from being a volunteer, how hard it is for a non-lawyer who can't afford a lawyer to navigate through family court. So what I did was, and I first want to say that I did not invent this idea. I got this idea from TFRM's Melissa Isaac, who gave self-represented litigants support in her own practice at cost or lower than cost. And she put together a library of about 20 videos to assist dads who are going through family court and can't afford a lawyer. So this is really what I do. I make myself available for people who are members of TFRM, Fathers Anonymous, Fathers' Rights groups, or whatnot. And I am available as a consultant, but the idea is I set up free resources on the Law Center YouTube channel because of, I thought, how wonderful YouTube is. I don't know a thing about household appliances, electronics, or heavy machinery. And I use YouTube, taught me how to do everything in my house. I could never read a manual, never had the patience. But YouTube is a way that I can learn. And I figured, well, wait a minute. If I know how to represent myself in court, even though I was never a family law lawyer, and I'm clueless around mechanics in my house, mechanical heavy machinery, lawn mowers and fixing things, but YouTube is teaching me, then why can't I use YouTube to teach dads and parents who are going through family court? So that's the type of resource that I set up. And it's also, but I'm not the first to do it. So I want to give a shout out to Melissa Isaac and TFRM for having that same resource on their own channel. And it's on a playlist. Just go to the YouTube channel and you'll see it.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I also learned the hard way. I hadn't been a practicing attorney at the time, but I found myself in family court shortly after graduating from law school, and I'm sitting there looking at the forms and the directions and everything that goes into it, and that was my first thought: is what would someone that has not been to law school, how are they gonna how can they quickly help get themselves up to speed to be able to navigate this process? So I completely agree with you there.